On the streets of the Indonesian capital, disappointment and disbelief. Supriyono had worked at a factory that made gas stoves for almost 3 decades.
I feel very, very sad. Just as I'm approaching retirement, it turns out the company's gone bankrupt.
His colleagues have gathered to protest, but the factory director says the business had been struggling with weak demand.
In 2019, the factory experienced a steep decline in product because people's purchasing power went down, and until now we've had difficulties.
In 2019, more than 57 million Indonesians were classified as middle class. The latest data indicates that number has dropped by about 9.5 million. Experts say the decline is mostly due to increasing numbers of layoffs and fewer job opportunities. Some sectors, like the textiles industry, are seeing their worst redundancies in more than a decade.
Indonesia is one of the world's largest consumer markets, with private consumption a key driver of economic growth. It accounts for more than half of the country's GDP, and that's largely powered by the middle class.
Economists say the shrinking middle class may make it more challenging for the government to achieve its target of Indonesia becoming a high-income nation by 2045.
If the consumption, private consumption growth is not increasing, so meaning that this, drop in middle-income class population, meaning that the source of economic growth in Indonesia is also weakening. So I think it is more difficult for Indonesia to achieve higher economic growth with this situation.
The government considers those who spend between $130 to $640 a month to be middle class. Those just below this bracket are classified as aspiring middle class, meaning they are more vulnerable to economic shocks and are less likely to spend.
For us, my husband still can't find another job and his salary has not increased. And my son is still unemployed. Just meeting our daily needs is unaffordable.
President Joko Widodo says the declining middle class is not a problem that's unique to Indonesia and is something affecting many countries. He blames a global economic slowdown. Incoming President Prabowo Subianto is due to take office in October and has promised to boost economic growth and create 19 million jobs. For Supriyono, he can't help but look back to when times were easier, when his children would ask him for cash to buy snacks and when he had the money to indulge them. Jessica Washington, Al Jazeera, Jakarta.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.